We are live.
Hi, everyone. We'll wait a few more seconds for everyone to join. Super excited. Today we have a super cool product that we're going to be discussing, super successful campaign, as well as a super interesting story from the founder, Davies, from Flare Audio. He used to be a firefighter, and he used to serve over 13 years. And during this time, he spent time as a touring sound engineer, and kind of hardening back to his early roots of DJing. This steered him into having a huge change in his career, and he started his own PA hire company. It wasn't long before he was bitten by this audio bug and started redesigning the loudspeaker. And these groundbreaking speakers were using new patented technology that were used in concerts, festivals, gigs, and installs, including stages at the Coca-Cola campaign for London 2012 Olympics, and the Adobe speakers at the Selfridge New Cinema. In 2016, Davies decided to miniaturize this technology into what we're going to be talking about today, consumer earphone. And this is a beginner's journey into consumer audio products, which has led into a passive in-ear device and where the company finds itself today. And we have something super excited. Not only are we going to be discussing the actual technology and the product, but we're going to be offering an exclusive drop that just is occurring right now as we speak. It just went live. Davies, do you mind telling the audience a little bit about this offering that is only going to be offered on the Indiegogo platform and is super limited?
Yeah, hi everyone. So this is the E3D1, which we've been working on for the last few weeks at Flare. We've just announced it on the campaign. It's a more affordable version of our mirror image sound technology that's 3D printed and hand assembled by the experts at Flare. We've only got 300 available for November shipping because we have a limited capacity here. We're just a team of 17 people running at Flare HQ. So we're not a big corporate company. We're a small company, technology company. So we're very limited on the numbers that we can get out, but we've made 300. They're available for immediate November shipping, and they're just £75. So you've got to get in quick if you want to get them for Christmas. So yeah, we just announced the perk just now.
Yeah, I see there's already some being claimed, so super excited about this perk. Also, I feel like makes for a really great Christmas gift. I'm going to get some for myself. I mean, the price point, you can't beat it, especially compared to other earphones out there and this technology. But I also want to call out the current campaign success. By now, you've raised over $200,000. That's amazing. I want to know a little bit more about how this campaign is going.
It's going really well. I mean, this is a genuine campaign, so we need to invest in tooling in the UK to make this range of earphones. We know that everybody wants Bluetooth earphones. They want them for recording. They want them for audiophile listening and just on the go. So we've created a full range, the EARS. The E is our everyday earphone. That's just £40 on Indiegogo. That's a cabled earphone. The A, which is our active, that's just £75 on Indiegogo. And that is, actually, I think it's £75. Let me just check. It's £80, sorry, on Indiegogo. And that is a Bluetooth earphone with detachable MMCX connectors. We then have the R. I've got a really bad memory for numbers. Let me get over it. Which is £160. That's our recording audiophile earphone that's great for producers and engineers alike. Detachable cables, Bluetooth a cable that lasts 17 hours, Bluetooth 5.2 as well. So it's the latest Bluetooth. And then we have the last one, which is the Superior, which is beryllium driver, the same as the R, with a solid milled titanium housing, Bluetooth cable, balance connector cable, and a standard jack cable. So we have a full range for every market. But the problem with making an earphone affordable like that is you need to invest in advanced tooling. And this earphone is not just a plastic shell, which is what you get with most earphones. It's not just a shell-like shape, because what's inside the earphone is really important, and it's really difficult to make that through injection molding. So we've had to go through quite a process in order to develop this. It's not something like a typical AirPod, which is a couple of shells that just clip together. It's much more advanced than that.
No, that's super interesting. Also, I'm super excited to talk more about the product and that specific technology. But before going into that, here at Indiegogo, we aim to share the story of the people behind the campaign. I mentioned a little bit about your background and your expertise, and would love to know more about how the company was founded.
Yeah, so myself and Naomi co-founded Flare back in 2010. And as I said at the time, I was a firefighter and I always wanted to help people. Before that, I spent 2 years in the lifeboat service as well. So I'd always been in the service industry to help people. So when we got into music, I really started enjoying working with bands and engineering sound and getting to know bands. But very quickly, I discovered that sound was very unreliable and that some gigs sounded great, some gigs sounded bad. Even when you've got a really good quality engineer and really good quality system, sound was unreliable. So I started to look into what was going wrong. And that was really the moment where I was like, this whole sound industry, a lot of people are guessing. Its speakers are made by literally creating a box like this and resonating sound. So it's using acoustic principles, which means they're dealing with resonance and they're dealing with tonality, the same as you would deal with making a sort of drum or a guitar or a violin or, you know, all those sort of acoustic instruments. They all make resonance to create their sound. The problem for loudspeakers and earphones is you don't want to add more resonance because you want to keep the resonance of the original device. So started back in 2010, starting to understand how we can develop technology that removes that resonance. And so it took a few years in the early stages to understand what was going wrong. But the way in which we started to really make the breakthroughs was I started to think and design at a particle level. So what I mean by that is we just imagine a dot that's going backwards and forwards, pushing another dot, and that's how sound propagates, by all the particles of air moving backwards and forwards. So focusing on that, rather than acoustics and rather than just a sound wave, which is a mash of all those movements, we started focusing on just the impulse. And that's when the breakthroughs came, because we started developing technology like Vortex, which is a bidirectional silencer that goes on the back of a driver that enables us to create a loudspeaker without this kind of resonance behind it. And we developed technologies like Space, which are a clamping technology. So if you imagine, if you've got a structure in the middle of your loudspeaker, if you clamp those two sides and tighten them up, you can stop it resonating. So we developed all these sort of interesting technologies. But even when we made this amazing loudspeaker, I was like, why can I still hear distortion? What's going wrong? Why am I'm creating these mirror image sound, really high-end loudspeakers that are in Selfridges Cinema, they're in Harrods Store, they're in Olympic Cinema in Barnes, we've got them in Archlight Cinema in Battersea. They're all in these amazing spaces, and all these producers are going, these sound amazing, but everybody still had this opinion. And that was when I started to look inside our ear, and that was the real breakthrough. I realized that the human ear distorts sound by as much as 20%, and that actually people are aware of this distortion. In fact, global technology companies are spending billions trying to unlock the problems that are going wrong inside the human ear. It's known as HRTF, or head-related transfer function. And I've got a head here, which I can show you. And this is a mock-up of a head that we've made. And inside the head, I'm going to show you a cut through that you don't normally see, which is a horizontal cut through from the ears. And this is the ear. As you put your finger in, you can feel this part here. This is the tragus. And so sound waves go in and they reflect off this non-uniform surface. So this is like a bit like a shell. And so as sound impulses go in the ear, they resonate around this area and down the tube of the ear canal and go backwards and forwards and resonate like a bell. So around 21 dB of everything we hear at 100 dB has a mid-range peak of distortion. And this has been identified by Southampton University, in fact, it's the ISVR, the Institute of Sound and Vibration Research, showed me the distortion curve that's added by our ears. And as I say, that's 21 dB or 100 dB. So that's around 20% of everything that we hear is distorted in this mid-range. So what we started to do was like, how do we get rid of this ear distortion? And so back in 2020, we launched a product called Karma. And this product sits inside the ear. And instead of having this shell-like shape, there's a flat surface inside Karma that allows sound to go in the ear and reflect once rather than reflecting chaotically. So think of it a bit like a laser hitting a flat surface and bouncing off at a known incidence, compared with a mirror ball. If it was to hit a mirror ball or a concave shape, the light would refract and you would end up with light going in all directions. Well, that's the same thing that's happening with sound. So what happens with our earphones is as we put them inside our ears, we're replacing that shell-like shape with a perfect reflection. So if I show you now inside the earphone, and this is a blown up version of the ears earphone, which we're all having on our campaign. We take our back piece off and let's get that out there, the side piece. And what we're going to show you inside is basically what's going on. Now we've got mirrors in here to represent how light would reflect, but then obviously mirrors aren't inside your actual earphone, but we just do it to show you what goes on. But actually I can show you here. If I look through this, you can see my eyeball through the earphone. I'll try and show you that way. It's a bit too small that way, but I can show you that way. There we go. And is that better? There we go. And so you can see through this, it acts exactly like a periscope would act. If you look through a periscope, say in a submarine, and you want to see above the water, this is how this is working. And so the driver sits here, and its diaphragm is all the way across the front lens of the first reflection. And that is precisely calculated so that every particle movement reflects and it maintains its exact path length as it focuses through. So a flat line in here equals a flat line of particles here. And so we're able to get a mirror image of impulse from the driver through the earphone to the ear. And so this is our technology, which we call mirror image sound technology. It's a patent pending technology, which we're filing across the world. And this will enable us to produce mirror image sound quality from any earphone. So we can just drop this technology into another earphone and we get exactly the same sound signature from the new earphone. So this drop that we talked about, that's the same as it's the same mirror image sound technology as the E prototype. You get exactly the same mirror image sound quality. So there's no difference between the earphones. Now that's never happened before, because normally when you listen to an earphone, each one sounds different. Each one has a degree of distortion. Some are great at bass music, some are great at classical music, some are great at orchestral. And the reason that they're all different is because they all have different distortions. But with mirror image sound technology, you get a mirror image sound of every type of music. So nothing sounds bad. Everything sounds amazing. And this is why we've got so many people, so many producers and genuine endorsers saying this is amazing technology. And I just want to point out that Flare is not a corporate company. We don't have huge marketing budgets. So every person that endorses Flare does it because they love what we're doing. And people like Neil Gaiman, Liam from The Prodigy, they don't endorse products. They don't say something's great because they don't do commercial advertising like other people do. So the endorsements we get are very real. And that's why I want to get that across, because it's very hard for the company with real technology that's making a genuine difference in audio to get out there and get through all the noise. Because in the sound industry, there's been a lot of overpromising, a lot of hype, a lot of snake oil, and a lot of products that don't deliver what they promise. This technology does. And if backers who haven't felt comfortable yet with backing this technology, if they go into the discussion area they'll see people who are already receiving the e-prototype backers, and they're making comments about what this sound is like. You can also go on our website, there's blogs, and you can also go online and search the reviews. You've got people like Headphonia, Headphonics, who are already reviewing this, this product. So the technology is real. The experience is mind-blowing when you hear it, because we as humans have never heard mirror image sound because of this problem. So when you listen to normal sort of tracks, they all sound like just a ball of music. It all sounds like just how you remember it. It's just like a ball. But that doesn't happen with this technology. It all separates. So you hear rhythm guitar, bass guitar. You can hear all the different drum sounds. You can hear all the BVs, the backing vocals. You can hear all the harmonies. You can even hear on bad tracks all the stems drop in. So it really does show you full resolution of audio. So a bit like going from a tube, black and white TV to a retina display. Suddenly you're seeing all the lines on the face, all the details in the tracks. And to some people, it's overwhelming. It's like, what's going on? What's happening? I'm suddenly hearing all this like 3D audio. But to producers who work in the studio, they know exactly what you're hearing, because they can do that in the studio by isolating tracks. Do you know those tracks that you get when you listen to, say, isolated vocals of Whitney Houston or Freddie Mercury, and you can hear just the vocal? That's what it sounds like when you listen to this technology. And the producers know that because they can isolate stuff in the studio. So I've gone on a bit there, but that gives you an idea.
No, first of all, absolutely amazing technology. Also, the product just looks cool. It's simple, it's minimalistic. Can you tell me a little bit about some of just the features of the tangible product that you enjoy the most? Obviously the technology is there, but more of the tactile aspects.
Yeah, I mean, so the tech side, the great thing about how this product works and its unique technology is because we're replacing the way sound bounces around in your ear. It means it's designed to fit perfectly inside your ears. In fact, no other earphone fits like this, because you just put it in and it feels super, super comfortable. So from a design point of view, from the way the technology works inside the ear, it fits your ears like a glove. The other great thing is when we combine this with Bluetooth, because of all this ear distortion and the way that distortion works, distortion sums. So it means if you've got a bit of distortion on Bluetooth and you've got a distortion in your ears, that's why Bluetooth up to now has sounded pretty not that great. You know, it's not been an audiophile adopted technology. But we're using Bluetooth 5, but I think it's 5.2 that we're using in this new earphone. The Bluetooth sounds amazing, because one of the problems for earphones and loudspeakers is that the reason you need expensive electronics is because they're using capacitors and they're using all kinds of circuits to stop this interference that's happening inside the earphone. And I'll try and briefly explain. As a driver goes backwards and forwards, it's a coil with a membrane. So as it produces a sound wave, if there's sound waves coming back and hitting the driver, it destabilizes it and sends microphonic information or electrical information back down the cable. The electronics have to stabilize that. So without that interference on the driver, it means that simplistic electronics now sound amazing. And so standard regular Bluetooth device, plug it in and it's mind-blowing. You've never heard Bluetooth sound this good. And so we're able to use a standard lower cost Bluetooth device with this technology. That means that we're able to reduce battery life, increase battery life, reduce power consumption, which means we're getting about 17 hours off our Bluetooth cables. So it means people can plug it in, go off all day long, play their music, and that's 17 hours of playback, and you can enjoy your sound. So you're not going to be running out of battery anytime soon. So that's one of my favorite features. Another great favorite feature is that we've got, with MMCX connectors, you can pull off the Bluetooth cable, whack in a balance cable, or whack in your standard 3.5-inch jack cable and use it off a regular DAC or an audiophile DAC. It also means that you can use any MMCX accessory. So there are loads of different Bluetooth and wired cable accessory options out there that use MMCX, so you can plug in your own cable. So that's kind of cool too.
No, that's super cool. I love the features too, and just the simplicity of the design. It's high tech, but it's simple. You also mentioned that you have this great community. I'll use the word organic community because it really is organic. You mentioned big stars, and even on your campaign page, you have raving reviews. And you mentioned that, yeah, you're a technology company. You're not a marketing company. I'd love to hear more about kind of how you've gone about shaping this community of, I almost use the word influencers, but you're not paying these individuals anything. They're just raving about your product. So I'll use them as almost like brand enthusiasts. I would love to know a little bit more about like that community building and what you've been seeing in terms of just reviews and responses from the technology.
Well, Naomi Roberts, my co-founder, is the person who basically runs Flare, and she builds the community of people to be aware of our products. And she just reaches out to people and says, hey, we've got this great earphone technology, would you like to hear it? And that's it. It's just contacting people, letting them hear the technology, explaining who we are and what we're trying to do, and they naturally endorse us. And that's how we're building our user base. But not only that, one thing that's really touched me and makes me quite emotional is, as we started developing this technology, because this earphone technology came from a product called Karma, and that was the product I talked about at the start, which was a single reflector. We made that to be worn under earphones to improve headphone sound because of this issue with HRTF. What we didn't expect was there was hundreds of thousands of people who adopted Karma and started messaging us saying that you've changed our lives. And building a community, and especially in sound, and we're making an earphone, we didn't expect to do that. And we've had videos upon videos, letters upon letters. You can see them, blogs on our website. You can search for them online. These are people that have got sensitive hearing, they're autistic people, they're people with misophonia, hyperacusis. They couldn't leave the house. And they couldn't leave the house because their ears were resonating in such a way that sound was painful for them. And you've got to imagine, you can imagine a child going through a shopping center, and you see the children with headphones on, because they get overwhelmed by the noise. We've recognized that that's ear distortion, and it's driving them mad. And so for us, seeing that community go, thank you, we can leave the house now, we can start to engage with people, it was a mind-blowing experience. And another aspect to that is, we're doing this because we recognize that the sound industry is in a bad way, and that producers and artists, they're all trying to create amazing sound quality, amazing art, and yet it's being crushed and put into plastic earphones, and then listening through the ear distortion that we've got. And that combination means that the art never gets across in the way it was intended. And so that's why this group of artists and producers are getting behind Flare, because they want their art to sound amazing. I mean, just listen to the Prodigy on the e-prototype or on our ears products. It is ears range. It is mind-blowing. You hear all the electronic detail that Liam was trying to create 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, whenever the Prodigy was, the tracks were made. I think it's must be at least 30 years ago, I'm that old. But they were my favorite band back in the day. And so listening to them now, it's like, it's gone from being a distorted, ball of information to the most amazing detail. And for Liam to come out and give us, it was like a whole page of quote, was amazing. So yeah, we're building a community around this technology because it's a real technology, and trying to cut through means that we must not pay for endorsements. We mustn't say to people, hey, we'll pay you a load of money to say we're great, because if you're doing something for real, you can't do that. You dare not do that, because then you ruin the whole reason for us existing.
No, that's truly amazing. Also very inspiring. So just from the the crowdfunding and community and some of the discussions that you've seen, and I know that some of your customers or some of the backers have already received some of these prototypes. Can you tell me a little bit more about kind of what the backer community is saying about this technology?
The backer community get it. I mean, we were really scared when we went to reveal all this, because it's a simple technology, and we know that, you know, as an inventor, as a creator of products, you're always cautious to reveal too much. But with this was important. This was our moment to reveal all. So that's why we're showing people inside the earphone. That's why we're showing them exactly what we're doing. We're going to be updating as the manufacturing process starts. We have one of our most important meetings next week with the manufacturer who's in London. And it's called a DFM meeting, which is designed for manufacturing meetings, where we're going over all the tiny details before we go into the tooling phase. Our backer community is really important, and it's really exciting to be on Indiegogo. We absolutely adore the community on Indiegogo. People are excited to bring projects to life, and this is a very real project. You know, we want to go through stages with people. We want to show how we're manufacturing them. We want to show updates to the manufacturing process. We want to continue to innovate, and we want to bring these exclusive perks to people so that we can bring them out at an affordable price. And we want to get them out quick so that people can hear them now, because it's no good, you know, promising the earth to people, saying you're making this amazing technology. Oh, it's available in June 2023. And oh, the prototype's really expensive because it's all hand sanded and handmade. So we're putting a lot of effort into trying to get that cost down of the prototype so that people can take less of a risk to hear it, because people need to hear it. So our backer community are vital, and we want to keep everything real with them. We want to answer every comment, every question. We want to try and address any of their concerns. We want to make sure that all the orders go out tracked so that they know they're coming to them, so that they feel safe, that they're backing our campaign. We've already had some big campaigns with Indiegogo. We had that major campaign with Isolate. I think 1.7 million pounds we raised before with that Isolate ear protector, which was one of the first time we used crowdfund. And so we got the buzz back then, and we want to get this buzz now. And we have a limited time and limited availability on this perk, because we only have a set amount of cables, and we only have a set amount of ability to produce this perk in November. So if people want to get it for Christmas, they need to be quick. But as we go through, and as we start to go into December, we'll also make some more available. But at that point, we can't guarantee Christmas delivery, but we'll still be making them available for people with later dates. So if people are time sensitive and they want it for now, for Black Friday, for a present for Christmas, they need to get in quick for that. And it's only because we can't physically make any more than we can make. We're a team of 17 people, and there's only 3 people who make the earphone shells. So there's a genuine reason to back this campaign quickly.
Yeah, definitely. To anyone listening right now, interested in more, definitely check out the campaign page. There's amazing visuals, amazing video reviews. You can see the discussions. Everyone's raving about the product. Also, just while we've been discussing, you're nearing 10% of that 300 are nearly sold. So these are really going fast. I can also attest that you really do ship now. You can get it within less than a week, depending on where you are. So it's not your typical crowdfunding experience, which I love. Like, I get to see my tracking number within a few days of backing the campaign, which love to see it. Super excited about this drop. Like we mentioned, it's limited, it's exclusive. Like you mentioned, it's only going to be on this platform, and I'm not sure if it's going to come back. Will this potentially come back?
No, we want to engage with Indiegogo backers for the long term. We want to be able to bring, this mirror image sound to life. We want to engage them through the experience of manufacturing, but this is strictly limited in November. We can only do 300, and we've got limited runs of this purple cable. So this actual earphone is going to be only available on Indiegogo. I've got to stress that. We're not going to be going, oh, hello, here's some more numbers to the November perk. We've made 300. We are boxing 300. We've tested 300. We're shipping 300. Come December, we'll make some more. Can't give you the numbers yet because we have to bear in mind that we've got Black Friday sales to deal with and other customers to handle. But we'll be making another limited batch for December. But the problem with the December perk is we're getting close to Christmas. Unfortunately, in the UK, we have Royal Mail strikes. We have all kinds of logistics issues going on. So if you want it certain for Christmas, get the November perk. After that, we'll do our best, our very best to get shipping for Christmas because we know that people want to buy presents for Christmas and we want to get them to you. But for us, we don't want to leave Indiegogo. As this campaign evolves, we want to work out ways where we can drop new inventions and technology and special editions to our backers. So please sign up to our campaign, back our campaign. You'll then know about updates that we're going to be doing later on. And as we invent and come up with new ideas and new technologies, you're going to get exclusive access to unique prototypes, to unique editions of the earphone. But this E3D1 with a purple cable is only going to ever be available on Indiegogo.
Amazing. And again, thank you so much for your time. And it was truly an honor to have you on as a guest. Super, super interesting technology. Also, I myself am an owner of this technology. I can attest to everything you say. So fabulous job. Super excited about this drop. Hopefully anyone who is interested in it, definitely check it out today before those are gone. I know a few of my friends are kind of already in on it. But thank you so much to the community who joined us today. Thank you so much for just using the Indiegogo platform and communicating to the backer community. With that being said, I'll wrap it up and go check out the campaign page.
Thanks everybody for watching us today and listening to me. If you've got any questions about our campaign, please send us a message. You can contact us on socials. We've got over 2.7 million followers on Facebook. So please follow us on Facebook. Get aware, understand the technology. I say any questions, you can even phone us during office hours. We're here for you. Our customers mean everything. We're not just a spark one-hit wonder that's coming on to do an invention. We're a brand that has over 12 years of experience and our customers are the most important thing. So please hit us up if you need any more information about the product. And as Sean just said, we're shipping straight away because we want you to experience this sound quality now so that you can come back into the campaign and say what you think about it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Like I said, go check out the campaign. Keep an eye on the campaign page updates as well.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye now.